well. I feel like they play so much. They play well around me, and I'm just thankful to have a great support cast. Offensive line played their butt off. We had Sat, and I was limited today, so it was kudos to those guys, man. The receivers making good plays, tight ends making plays, and it's a great offensive effort, and even defense played well. Heck, special teams did too, so it was a great all-around win.
It's 78 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now?
Now, it is a shopping spree of softness. That's for sure. Soft, fluffy, cuddly, smells good. No, it doesn't. It stinks around here right now. All of Duval on the edge of their seats, leaning in, waiting for something. 1:45 was the scheduled presser for Doug Pederson, the head coach, as we speak right now, for your Jacksonville Jaguars. And he just said not that long ago that he does not have a meeting scheduled with Shad Khan. We'll have that sound turned around, courtesy of Jaguars.com, coming up in just a little bit. Now, fellas, I lean in to the microphone and say, welcome into a Mokama Beer Company Monday. It's been busy around Duval, has it not? All the chatter. Take me back to the fifth quarter last night, Leon, at Hurricanes, where I'm sure it was festive as all get out over in Fleming Island.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they had to be hot under the collar then, and they still are.
Well, everybody was. I mean, Hacker, me, Coach Campo, we were in awe of this team's football abyss. All right, I mean, you're talking about a team that's let another team score on every possession. Every possession.
More touchdowns than incompletions.
Yes.
Did you see the punter?
No, we did not see the punter. No. We saw 7 touchdowns, a field goal, and a knee.
We did see the Jags punter.
That's a hell of an accomplishment by a team, by the way.
Yeah.
Hell of an accomplishment. I ain't never seen it before.
Well, I tweeted out yesterday that last week Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He started this game with 5 straight scoring drives, and obviously.
What did I tell you about this team?
By the way, and they won last week when he threw 5.
Oh yeah, they won back. What did I tell you about this team? This team is the get right team. When you're playing bad and you play us, you get right.
Yeah.
All right, now all that being said,
there are a couple of Tums in the belly for everybody else.
let me give you a couple more that you're going to need a couple more Tums. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Doug Pederson today at his press conference. We'll get this turned around so you can hear the sound, the official sound. But this is Doug Pederson today. Quote: "Where we are, and still 6 games to go, it's time to hit the reset. Get fresh again."
Fresh again.
I challenge them to go back and look at everything. If we come out of this bye and keep doing the same things and expect different results, it's not going to happen. Let me tell you something. If that doesn't make those guys run through the wall and stop being the worst team in the NFL, what will?
When were they ever fresh? Fresh again? Are you kidding me? Listen, Doug Pederson, we were talking about this off there. You ever seen the movie Cliffhanger?
Yeah.
It's a great movie with Sylvester Stallone. Just let Doug, this toss him off the cliff. He wants to go home.
Oh he does.
He wants to go home so bad. He's trying to figure out ways to get home, and y'all just keep letting him back into the door. Y'all keep the same code and everything. He wants to go home. You look at him on the sideline, uninspired, unmotivated, and his team plays just like it.
If he has the belief that you can hit some sort of reset button and course correct right now after you
refresh, Joe. Refresh.
Oh my gosh. After you just got, this is a new version or a new level of being mollywopped, because that's what happened. Motown mollywopped Duval in a way that had never been done before. Historical. Mm-hmm. Let me point this out. Hey, Trent Baalke over there, whenever you say this is the best roster this franchise has ever had, well, that was the best roster that just suffered the biggest L in franchise history. So you were historic yesterday. You did do something that had never been done before. Thank you, Trent, for that. Unbelievable.
They've lost 14 of their last 17 games, and now he's saying we need to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
Now you need to hit the reset button? Now.
All right, so this is how we set this up. And look, if you guys are just as
Look at the former All-Pro. He can't handle it anymore, man.
I can't, bro. Let him go. He want to go home. You don't just let him go home.
Soft serve.
Man, the last couple of weeks, I mean, they're finding new ways to lose and set records.
I like to call him the Ice Cream Man. And look, when David Lee Roth and Van Halen pinned that song and put it together,
don't put those two together.
I was going to say, I can't do it because that was one of the best lines. I'm your Ice Cream Man. Stop me when I'm passing by. It was just so good. But this is not the same thing. This is not the same thing. This is soft serve, as Leon labeled it, because that's what this team has become, and that's soft without a T, right?
Absolutely.
Which is awful.
Awful.
And so you guys just let us know what you're thinking. If you want to pop off, number right there, you can call RJ. He'll have it for you. It's real easy to dial, 904-207-7071. You can pop off if you want. You can hit the text line, Design by Lifetime Enclosures, at 641-1010. Just let us know. Jump in the YouTube chat because it's the worst of worst feelings because you had such hope and things eroded so fast that you went from hope to hell in a football world fast, and now it's Dante's Inferno. You can't get out of this bad boy. Okay, you have to absorb another L, another body.
This is what I don't understand, honestly. You've lost for the 14th time in 17 games, okay? This time, 52-6. The worst loss in the history of your franchise. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of bad in this franchise, okay? Mm-hmm. But this is the all-time worst. How has someone not been fired yet? Someone has to be fired. I don't even care if it's the defensive coordinator. Someone has to go. Because if you keep just throwing the same garbage out there week after week, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, it's.
Here's a little hint. L. Mm-hmm. Just going to keep firing off L's at that team.
Well, we have this theory that Shad Khan may want these guys to basically eat their own supper.
I get that.
Yeah,
and I like the spite. I do enjoy the spite.
Yeah, the meal that they've made, and that'd be all fine and good if he was to wipe the Jaguar earth with more than just one individual. If he was to clean house and basically say all of it out, all of it. Mike Florio reported last night on NBC Sports Football Night in America the possibility of Trent sticking around one more year and bringing in Belly, and it's just unthinkable.
No way Belly works with him. No way.
It's just unthinkable. And so I'm not even saying there is a can't miss hire out there. I'm just simply saying this has gone too far. This is nothing more than a product of bad environment, bad coaching, bad game planning, bad players, bad leadership. I tweeted it out. Where's the passion and the punch? Where's the direction, the vision? None of that you've experienced in winning. Locker room.
Yeah. Well, listen, I had a bunch of former players that were texting me while the game was going on. They were saying he's lost the locker room because that team got out tough. That team got out executed in every way, in every capacity you can ever imagine. I've never seen a series in which a team scores on every they scored on 7 possessions and kicked a field goal. Yeah. And we're talking about long. Their shortest drive during that series was 53 yards. Rest of them was 70, 80. You're talking about
kick the field goal with backups in, by the way.
Exactly. I mean, you're talking about guys. You're talking about a team that went down, drives of 9, 10, 11, 12 yards. You're talking about a series of beating up a team like the Jets. Those were series. Those 7 touchdowns were series long drives.
Yeah.
That showed us
and there were 2 things that hurt me from Dan Campbell yesterday. Mm-hmm. And you know how I love the Honolulu Blue. But this hurt me. Dan was trying to hurt Duval when he did this. He said, you know what? I haven't thrown a challenge flag out in a long time. I might as well go ahead and do that, work on that, because he was trying to steal that Brian Thomas catch from us.
Right.
Okay. And then the other one was, when was the last time we kicked? Let's just kick a field goal. Let's just go ahead and work on that and make sure we're good because they had done everything else.
They were in preseason mode, but in the second half, just literally, let's get this guy in the game. Let's get that guy in the game.
Bro, they ran a
let's
hook.
Get Hendon Hooker some work.
They run a hook and lateral on us, bro.
Second quarter.
It was like a fun fair against us, man.
And if that one had gone all the way, that would have been the highlight of the week, just like Saquon Barkley was the highlight.
By the way, that was one block away from going. Antonio Johnson broke that play because that was one block away from going.
And by the way, Jameson Williams, woo, that was a big play.
Yeah.
So, all right, frustration level, you guys can definitely tell us where you are with that, what you would like to see happen. And I think most are saying the same thing. Clean house, don't leave anybody behind, take no prisoners, all this stuff. And I'm all for it because it needs to be done. Let's just make this the early 10-10 take, RJ, if you don't mind, because this is the thing that has been just eating at me this entire time.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
A good meal can get rid of a bad memory. Okay, a good meal can get rid of a bad taste in your mouth. So drop on by Sonny's and enjoy it. And honestly, chew on some good ribs and chicken instead of chewing on these losses. That's for sure. Any one of your area Sonny's, definitely stop by and enjoy it. So this is the one that got me. I whipped out the calculator on this, and a lot of people have put out the number that Shad Khan is, in his time as owning this franchise, 62-144. 62-144. He took over, bought the team, agreed to buy the team in late 11, took over in 12. He has had this football franchise for 13 years. And what rips at me, and I'm sure it rips at a lot of other people out there, is that he seemingly has been willing to spend endless cash to get a team back to where you would like them to be. Competitive, winning, perennial playoff performer, whatever. You all know what you want and that you haven't gotten. This team, even with a winning season in 2017 and back-to-back winning seasons this past year, 2 playoff seasons undershot. With all that looped in there, he still owns a team that is averaging over 11 losses a year. Over 11 losses a year, and they didn't expand to 17 games until 2022. So that means he had been losing 11 of 16 before that. That's the 10-10 take. That sucks. Okay, that sucks. And so, Shad, you have to look at this and go, you know what? I own this. This is mine. This is the stash and all those L's. I got to do something about this. I got to change it.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing at a click at 70% of the time he's losing. I mean, come on now. I mean, 13 years, 70% of the time. Yeah. The problem with Shad is that, I mean, he's got people around him that don't know nothing about football. He's throwing good money on bad product. Yeah. He's throwing good money on bad product. That's the problem. He's got people in his ear saying, hey, that guy's good. That guy's good. Get that guy. Draft this guy. Draft that guy. I mean, he's to blame because he's been listening for so long.
Fair.
He needs to find somebody that knows something about football. Someone who knows something about football, because apparently if you've been losing that 70% of the click for over the last 13 years, it comes a point in time where you got to say, hey, maybe I need to find somebody that knows football that can turn this thing around.
He's got a guy in his own play-by-play booth every week. And I'm not saying Franchi. I love you, Franchi, but I'm not talking about Franchi.
But the gold jacket wearing.
Hang up the gold jacket for a little bit, Tony, and go be a VP GM.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was hoping that you could get somebody to come in here that cares, that devoutly cares about the organization and that doesn't want to steer it down the wrong street.
If you listen to Tony too, he gets so frustrated on that broadcast, man. So he will stop talking sometimes because he doesn't want to say something that's not right.
Him and Logs, and then you get the sad Franch, which is tough at times, especially when he had to call 7 straight scoring drives and none of them involved Jacksonville. None of them involved Jacksonville. They had more extra points than this team had points. It was just, oh my gosh, it was just butt bad all the way around. All right, at the risk of ticking some of you off, let's just do that real quick right now.
Just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So I know this will fire some of you up, but I couldn't help it because you're waiting for that to come out if something does come out. A head coach in the state of Florida has been fired. It was not Dougie, though. Tom Herman, Florida Atlantic, bounced. I had to do it. I had to put it out there. He's been sent packing. How far has Tom Herman fallen? My gosh.
And quickly, too.
Yeah, coordinator under Herb, hired by Texas, failed there.
He won 9 games last year at Texas, too.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Anyway, no, not this head coach in the Sunshine State. That head coach in the college game. Tom Herman let go by Florida Atlantic. All right, we'll keep it going. Let us know what you're thinking. Keep an eye on the timeline that everybody is paying attention to. Will anything happen today, tomorrow, during the bye week? You let us know what you're thinking. A Mokama Beer Company Monday. It is XL Primetime.
When you just can't take it anymore, or when you absolutely have to have your say, hit the pop-off line, 207-70-71, and let it fly.
Let's go.
Game day gets here a little quicker with Pregame Friday.
Here we go.
Who's in, who's out, who's on upset watch.
Exactly.
We'll get you ready for the games.
All right, you ready?
Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
The inflation fighter is back and saving you thousands at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, just $500 down and $288 per month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month. You also get no payments till January 2025. It's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Once in a lifetime savings.
No corporate jeweler does that.
Beard's Diamonds does. It's their incredible 44th anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 44% off at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ride the hurricane wave as the storm brews in South Beach.
Keeping you closer to the U with news and notes from the Orange and Green on the Hurricane Report on 1010XL.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Beers.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit Visit BuellerAir.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Cam Little may be a rookie, but this season he has shown that no moment is too massive for him. In the first quarter, Little would knock down a career-long 59-yard field goal, giving Jacksonville a 3-0 lead with 9:36 left in the opening period. The Little field goal is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Play fake. Rolling right is Mack. Looking downfield. Still looking. Fires it deep downfield, and that ball is going to be... Was it picked off? I believe it was. Yes, it was. He wanted Luke Farrell downfield. Kirby Joseph came all the way across the field and made the interception. That is his 7th interception of the season.
We just have to get back to the one play at a time mindset and try not to focus on, scoring points. I know that's hard to say, but you just got to focus on doing your job. And I could have done a better job on definitely a few plays. And once we all do that together as 11, we'll have success. But I think we definitely have a group that's going to fight. We got veteran guys on the offensive line, in the receiver room, in the running back room. So it wasn't our day today. But in the NFL, like I said, you got to keep going or no one's going to feel sorry for you.
It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
Mocama.com. You can log on and see where they are serving it up. You can head to Total or ABC and pick up some of that great craft on the shelves. Coffee every day, Tuesday through Sunday. Delicious craft. Find them right there on South 8th in Fernandina, and then Wildlight as well. 2 Nassau locations, and we love Mocama Beer Company, that's for sure. So that was Mac Jones after the highlight/lowlight that you heard, cut courtesy of Jaguars.com. And Mac, look, I love Leon's expressions. You guys can get on YouTube and watch the big man react to some of the stuff that's said, because he said, don't focus on scoring. Well, you haven't scored. You had 111 yards last week? Does that sound right? 138 this week?
At one point, Amon-Ra St. Brown had more yards than the Jags offense.
Yeah.
Midway through the second quarter.
The CBS Sports folks were throwing up some really gut-punching graphics yesterday.
Yeah. Listen, I just don't like players that are robotic, all right? I know Mac Jones is from Jacksonville, had an outstanding career here at Bowles, and Alabama won a national championship. But, I want some fire. You just got your butt whipped on national TV. I don't want to hear about one play at a time and don't concentrate on points and all that robotic stuff that players are supposed to say. I want a player to come out and tell the truth. Listen, we got our bleeping kicked.
Yeah.
All right? It's inexcusable. We got to play tougher. We got to play with more resilience. We're going to use this off week to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, am I the problem? The answer is yes. Everybody that looks in the mirror this week, yes, you're the problem. You're the reason why you're here. This is a picture. This is a painting. You painted, and you got to do something about it. I just don't like robotic answers. The safe answer. Don't step on any toes. Don't.
The only person to do that this year. The only person to do that this year is Trevor. He's the only player that has done that this year who has said we sucked.
Yeah.
And he said those exact words. We sucked.
Yeah. And by the way, that soundbite is coming back at the end of our show again. It's just the way it's got to be.
Yeah, at least he's stepping up and saying it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm watching that game, and that team, our team, got punked.
Mm-hmm.
Doug's talking about refresh.
Refresh. What's refresh?
Just stand up there and say, we suck right now.
Yeah, that's some.
All right, here's Evan Ingram basically saying that right now.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Thank you.
We will add that to the
Here's another thing, too. I think there's like two guys that try every play on this team, honestly. Trayvon Walker and Evan Ingram. And BJT when they throw him the ball.
Right.
Or BTJ, I keep saying BJT.
Yeah.
When they throw him the ball, Those three guys are the three guys where you're like, all right, those guys are effort guys.
Listen, when Branch hit him on that one play, I thought he split him in half.
Yep. And he got, 2 plays later, right back in there.
Yes.
That was cruel and unusual punishment right there.
Goodness.
Evan Ingram, he did go to the sidelines. Before he came back out, he goes,
needed some air.
Am I all in one piece here?
I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, the slow-mo of that, like his body was.
Have you ever seen anybody on our team come up and hit somebody like that?
That was a chiropractor.
That's a message.
What that was.
But he is a tough dude, man.
Bro, that's a message sender.
Yeah.
That when you hit a guy like that, you're sending a message to the team that we're not here to play. We're coming to take you out.
How did those two safeties look on the field yesterday?
My
Kirby
goodness, assassins.
And Brian Branch.
Assassins.
Oh, my gosh. And you can go down the line and take a look at we've already talked about it a bunch.
Again, two guys who played at major programs and played well in college football.
But
it's not that difficult to understand when you're drafting.
And by the way, it's not always true that you go get the best players in college and they turn into the best players in the pros, but probably more often than not, you've got a better chance that can happen. And Brian Branch was one of those guys that you looked and you saw the style of play. Then you marry it up with what Dan Campbell and what Aaron Glenn are doing on that side of the ball. There's just a lot of things that need to come together, a lot of things that need to change. Obviously, the evaluation, the people you're bringing in, and then the people you're getting to coach them up. And both sides are failing at such a rapid clip right now.
Listen, well, I'm watching that game. The Jaguars knew very early and often that they were the better team. The Detroit Lions. I told you when I watched the Detroit Lions, they're like they're in fast forward, and we're like in reverse. I mean, the speed of the way they were getting after people and hitting people and running the ball and getting to the second level, and the way they were attacking on defense and hitting and all that kind of. Listen, this team. I've been watching this team for a very, very long time. I have yet to see them play like that.
No,
that's. But when you talk about a mindset, that's a mindset that we're going to play all out. Yeah. We're going to execute at a high level, and we're going to hold each other accountable. This team has no idea what that stands for.
You know what it looks like, you know what it feels like, and you know what work it takes to get there.
Yeah, but I'm telling you this, with Dan Campbell, it's not like they just do that on Sunday. I can tell you right now, that team plays like that throughout the week.
Yeah. And
because then there's some carryover on Sunday.
And it's pretty obvious now what happened, but they took a 5-interception game where they had to come from behind in the third quarter to win on the road. They took it and said, you know what? That ain't good enough. We didn't they didn't come back and go, you know what? Yeah, we figured out a way to win. Right. And then all of a sudden exhaled and relaxed and all that stuff. No, they went and said, you know what? We better be a hell of a lot better than that. And they used what is the thing you always say about the Jags? They used the get well.
Yeah, we're the get right. Yeah, we're the get right crew.
Yeah.
Anytime if you're struggling with anything, as far as team goes, you play else, you get right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the good teams in the NFL, when these quote-unquote trap games that come along, they just chew them up and spit them out. That's exactly what the Lions do.
Yeah. And just as a quick example, there were a couple of big trap games yesterday. The Chicago Bears, and I felt terrible for Cairo Santos, St. Joe's own, getting his kick blocked at the end, but Chicago looked like they were going to get their tails kicked by the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers barely got out of there with a win. And so there are games that you're thinking there's no way that team's going to beat that team, and they almost did. And there were other games. San Francisco, they had beaten Seattle, I believe, by 3 scores up in Seattle. You saw what Geno Smith did down the stretch in that game? Oh, my gosh. And there are, of course, plenty of other ones that took place yesterday. So, yeah, it was one of those games that you might have thought Detroit would sleep on, that the Lions would say, oh, big yawner, we got this. They just went out and took care of business in the biggest of ways. They really did. We got to bring up a couple of other things. We will stay on this. But how about a round of applause for Billy Vanilli, Billy Napier, the guy that I like to have fun with all the time. He's got a team that played pretty hard Saturday night. Now, let's not forget, they also got roasted and toasted the week before by Texas, but they did come back with their healthy quarterback, and they beat a team that still had a mathematical chance to make it to the championship game. This is the first victory for Florida and Billy Napier this year over a team with a winning record. So this does not need to be a parade throwing.
No, but you know why they're different now? It's easy to say DJ Lagway, and he's clearly a difference maker. They're different now because they lead the league. They lead the SEC in pass protection. They get them the least amount of sacks, and their defensive line is now getting after the quarterback.
Yes,
7 sacks in that game.
Yeah, Caleb Banks.
Again, we talk all the time. It's a line of scrimmage game, and now they're starting to play at a high level on the lines of scrimmage. That's why they're getting better.
Hold that thought, because we got to at least stay on that one and what Georgia did to Tennessee. A couple of other games that we will hit. Quarterback whisperer coming up at 3 o'clock hour. We'll definitely stay on your Jags. You guys keep hitting it. 641-1010. Text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, and get in the YouTube chat. We would love to hear from you on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Zahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410. Postgame Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline. It's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Movember is Cancer Awareness Month, so educate yourself on the risk factors for prostate and other cancers. Take charge of your health. Many cancers are highly preventable. Trust the physicians at Ackerman Cancer Center. AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 18, 1964, Baltimore Orioles third baseman Brooks Robinson, Baseball Hall of Famer, wins American League MVP.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Mia here from MyBookie. Hope everyone had a profitable betting weekend. Monday Night Football tonight, where we have an old-fashioned Texas duel. The Texans travel to Dallas to take on those Cowboys. Both of these teams have had major injuries and have been pretty terrible of late. This game smells like a slog and definitely could go under the 42.5 over-under game total. Who would have thought the Cowboys are 7.5-point underdogs at home? Joe Mixon likely going to be running and catching passes all over the boys in this game. I'm looking at a same-game parlay and put my chips all in on Mixon for an anytime touchdown. And bet the over on Mixon's receiving yardage. Guys, MyBookie has the best sign-up bonus in the industry for Florida bettors. Our listeners can sign up and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Promo code 1010XL to claim your double deposit bonus for Monday Night Football. Bet anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
Are you an experienced plumber or welder with MedGas certification and you're tired of being undervalued? It's time to make a move to Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. With the best pay in the business, you'll earn $36.50 an hour. With benefits, that's almost $50. It's not just a job, it's a career that values you. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I just cannot say enough good things about my friends at Pella Windows and Doors. They have the highest quality products, the strongest limited warranties in the industry, and they just flat out look amazing. But don't just take my word for it. Consumer Reports still has Pella rated #1 in all 3 major window categories, so why not go with the best? Call them today or visit the Pella showroom and be sure to ask about the latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows. That's Pella Windows and Doors on Phillips Highway, and tell them Mike sent you.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Mike Dempsey this morning on Jaguars Today, with reaction to the 52-6 blowout loss at Detroit.
If you do fire the head coach and you leave the GM in place, then you're still going to have this cloud over every fan's. Are you really going to let this guy hire another one? Is this really what's going to happen? Because if you feel like it's going to happen anyway, if it's inevitable, I'm not saying firing Trent Baalke does anything to make the Jaguars play better against the Houston Texans. Mm-hmm. I'm not. But if you're going to start firing people, it's got to start at where the problem's been lingering the longest, in my opinion. I don't know.
Mike Dempsey this morning on Jaguars Today. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Play fake. Goff drops. Fires downfield. That ball's going to be caught. Williams, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Another touchdown. 46 yards. Correction. 64 yards. 64-yard touchdown. Jamison Williams, and the Lions, just like that, have extended the lead.
I feel like it's been a long season, 11 games, 2 weeks in London, obviously, and travel and whatnot. And I do, and I think, the guys need a break, but I'm sure if you ask them, they probably feel tired, right? They feel drained a little bit, and they need to refresh and get ready to go.
It's Mokama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mokama.
Oh, my God.
I think Doug
We
Mann
didn't just hear that. There's no way he just said that.
Yeah, I think Doug Mann nailed it. I think he said they're tired. And they
What are they, like 4-year-olds? Go put your head down, honey. Everything will be okay. That's what I used to tell my daughter when she was 4.
Was that
Go take a break.
Was that cut today? Yesterday, post game, Jaguars.com.
I mean, the new lows of embarrassment every week from that guy, the things he says. Seriously.
Well,
these guys need a break?
It's like
they're getting paid millions of dollars. What do you mean they need a break? They need to win, dog. They don't need a break.
Well, he's treating the players like preschool. You remember how your kids in preschool had to take naps?
Yeah.
It was required naps.
Go put your head down.
This is what he's doing to this team. This is what this team is now.
Yeah, little lemon.
That's why there's no reason. That's why all these players are fighting for him. So, I play for Doug. They're getting naps in between.
And ice cream.
That part, soft served.
Little Lemon, our 3-year-old, little G-Babe, her and Eminem, they're just so trippy and so cool. But every once in a while, Lemon she'll have a meltdown. She'll just, what time is it? Snap time.
Right. Yeah. Go put your head down.
It's nap time.
Right.
You gotta just settle down, get over your tiredness, and then she has that want to get away look on her face. And so anyway, this is the same guy, and RJ may have to crank the song back up. Healing. Do you remember?
I remember the healing part. Yes.
There was some healing that had to take place after the 21 season.
Yeah.
That they went into 22, and he was the new head coach, and they needed to go through some healing. And so here we are.
Listen,
this team's tired.
If this team was like 6-5 or 5-6 and going into a bye week and he said, these guys need a break, fine, right? If you're 5-6 or 6-5 and you're fighting and you're losing close games and you're still got a chance to win the division, fine. That's no problem at all. You're 2-9 and you say they need a break?
Well, let me give you an example of that, because this is where we are. Like, anybody watch last night what happened between Cincinnati and the LA Chargers? I got to give Jim Harbaugh credit, because he definitely is turning the corner quickly with that defense. Did you see his young wide receiver and what he's doing? And Justin Herbert is really starting to deal. I'm talking wheel and deal right now. And he's a guy that we were probably attacking a little bit before and saying, hey, he's going in the wrong direction. Think of the numbers that Joe Burrow has put together. And that team is probably a little tired of losing, because they're putting out some pretty good
They're 4-7
in product.
He's got 27 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
He is having an MVP type of year on a losing team.
Bro, in the last 2 games, he's got over 700 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and no picks. The defense can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, and so if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm a little tired of what's going on the other side.
Right, and sick and tired, right?
Bro, and he's still getting hit. He's still getting pressured too, bro. The offensive line.
26 times.
Yeah, bro. The offensive line. He was taking a whaling last night. I felt sorry for him. He was getting up the ground so slow. I was like, goodness gracious.
I'm looking at these numbers, and one of the football sites, Bleacher may have been the one to put it out. Cincy now has the leader in passing yards and touchdowns, the leader in receiving yards, the leading sack getter, and the sixth best offense in the National Football League, and they are 1-6 in one-score games. 4-7 overall. Honestly, just they are doing enough to stay in every ball game. Zach Taylor, if he just looks around and shakes his head, you can understand. Joey Burrow, you can understand if he's feeling this way. Jamar, if he's feeling this way.
But you could also look at that team and think, oh, they could go on a 6-game run easy and go 10-7, get in the playoffs. Easy.
Well, the last team they lost to, they went for 2. So they chose not to try and take it to overtime, which, like, I always believe that's a pretty good play. Anyway, that cost them that game. They were down in this game. They came charging back, and then a couple of field goals that they missed late ended up doing them in.
Well, I mean, they're burning off some prime years of Joe Burrow right now, to be quite honest with you. I mean, him and Jamar Chase. I mean, not giving them the protection, not giving them the defense that could be the counterpart to that offense. So you're burning off some years, some very productive years.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to college that we were just talking about a second ago. And Gator fans, you definitely should feel pretty stoked. RJ, I don't know if you have that piece that I gave to you, but it's a good one, because Florida was a 3-point dog at a minimum in this game, 3.5. It may have even gone to 4 at one point anyway, about a 3-point line going into this game. Brian Kelly's bunch had just gotten their butts beat by Bama. They're coming into the swamp. They think that they might be able to stay in line for maybe a path to the championship game. And Billy was just getting DJ Lagway back. So I will give him 100% credit. The team played hard, especially after an embarrassing loss to the Longhorns the Saturday before. And they were able to generate a lot of things, including pass pressure on Nussmeier. They worked him. I tweeted out, work him silly Gators, because they worked Garrett Nussmeier the entire night, beat him up, basically.
I mean, the one thing I noticed, especially this late in the season, comparable to when they played Miami early, the line of scrimmages are light and day between when we played y'all early in the season to where y'all can run the ball, y'all can stop the run, y'all get after the passer. I mean, that's essential. I told you when I text you, I said the swamp is alive. I had never seen the swamp that alive before.
But let me just throw out one little bit of hesitation for you, JoJo, okay? Not only did LSU literally dominate the game, LSU ran 92 plays. Guess how many plays Florida ran? Just guess.
60.
Leon, guess?
45.
30.
No.
30.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wrong. It isn't 30.
Yeah. No.
It's 43. What'd you say? 60?
I said 45.
Yeah,
He
he
said
said
45. All right,
45.
45.
Yeah. And so, and I knew I was going
So this guy who wrote this is wrong. Now I'm looking at the box score.
Yeah.
43. So 92 plays to 40. So they doubled them up on plays. And Florida still won the game.
Yeah, and Florida made enough of the big plays.
I mean, think about it.
No, that's a joy killer, right?
No. What I'm saying, my point is actually is if they start to get this thing turned, you can see like Jaden Ball ran the ball 6 times. 6 times.
Yeah, it had one huge run. And like I said, I don't want to go overboard.
Jacoby Jackson ran the ball 6 times.
Yeah, and by the way, a lot of fans, when we're on X and kind of going back and forth, they were complaining about where is the run game? Why are you not coming back to it? And that's about the time that Jaden Ball hit that big run. And then they were quick to get the ball in the end zone after that. That's stuff that you hadn't seen from Florida before.
It reminded me of that Auburn game under Mullen when what's-his-face hit that big run. Who was that? Wasn't P. Ryan, was it? Who hit that long 70, 80-yard run when they had Auburn at home and they won that close game?
Yeah.
Maybe it was P. Ryan. Hit like an 80-yarder or something. It reminded me of that game.
Well, man, you say the LSU had 92 plays and Florida had 43. But if they're explosive plays, does it really matter?
Right. Scoreboard.
No. I understand what you're saying. All I'm saying is once they get to the point where they can extend drives and they can start to move the ball, that's going to allow their defense, which was on the field a long time, and still played fairly well.
Yeah, they were on the field, and they were able to wear down the LSU offense as opposed to them wearing down, which is pretty good.
They still gave up. Look, they were on the field for 92 plays and gave up under 400 yards, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Did Florida have 7 sacks in that game?
Yeah, 7 sacks.
Yeah, and Caleb Banks was one of the guys that really stood up big time. And Pyburn, you could definitely give one of our Jacksonville dudes some love, and the other guys on that side of the ball, which we all know.
Shamar James is becoming a beast.
Yeah, James came up big. You can go to Gates. You can go to a handful of the guys, Castell, that made plays when they needed to.
Right. No, you know what else too, bro? TJ Searcy. Baller.
Hey, Searcy and Sapp made plays.
Baller.
Well, listen, he got the last name. You know he's going to be a baller.
Searcy and Sapp. Oh, so, by the way.
The cousin's a baller, man. I'm telling you right now he is.
You have to love X whenever one team gets to troll the other team. And so this was put out by the Florida Gators timeline, and it was a speech that the LSU head coach, the Southerner that he is, was giving to his players about the late, great Tom Petty and the now tradition fourth quarter start won't back down. Listen to what you can hear from Brian Kelly and then how the Gators X account trolled him.
To me, this is where you start thinking about, I'm going to remember that song because I'm going to sing that song in the fourth quarter. I'm going to remember that because that's my confidence level. Because going into the fourth quarter, we're going to have this team. And so I'm going to be thinking in terms of, I want to know the words to that song.
And then the account provided the words for Brian Kelly. So that was the look. There hasn't been too much fun down in Gainesville. We would all agree with that. And like I said, this is just the first win over a winning record team. But it was one that maybe Billy does look back on. If there is anything salvageable, that they were able to get that done one step closer to a bowl game, one step closer to getting 6 wins if they beat the FSU at the end of the year.
I wouldn't just say FSU. I mean, Ole Miss better be ready this week. I'll tell you that right now. Because here's the thing. I think they're playing hard for him. Like, they really like him. The players do. So they're playing hard for him. They've got a group of young dudes that are very talented. There's no doubt about that. Elijah Badger's a really good player, by the way.
Yeah.
Really good player.
Badger was targeted time and time again. It came up.
If Eugene Wilson was around, they'd be even better in the throw game. But he's injured. So they're playing hard. It's going to be a home game. Unfortunately, it's not a night game. Like, if it was a night game, that'd be a difficult spot for Ole Miss. But they better be ready to play this week. I'll tell you that right now. Ole Miss better be ready.
Yeah. All right, real quick. Georgia, and this is the thing that you can't help but acknowledge, and I'll bow to the Bulldogs because I looked at this game, and by the way, the son-in-law trying to move up in the power rankings convinced me that maybe this was going to be different this year with the Volunteers, and I was all on this bad boy. I took the points. I'm like, they have got an opportunity here to beat the Bulldogs in their backyard, and we were reminded Georgia had won 7 straight. The margin of victory was 28 points, and yet I still bit because they didn't have the run game. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. And y'all went boogeyman, and there ain't no doubt about it. Hey, listen, this was
I was lucky, by the way.
Yeah, because this was
neither one of us really wanted to do it.
But this was a gettable game for a long time for both sides. And then it just all of a sudden started to click.
Well, because Carson played probably the best game of his career.
Exactly. And when he and Bobo start to vibe, play call to player, look out. And there were guys on the receiving end that made plays. And how about an actual Oscar Delp sighting? This is the first.
Yeah, and all those guys. Lovett started making plays.
Yeah, but Delp should have been there post-Bowers.
He had like 7 catches on the season coming in that game.
Yeah, he should have been so much more of that offense. Not replacing Brock Bowers and keeping the same level, but the next guy to step into that role and be a big playmaker. And he wasn't so much until Saturday.
Listen, I'm a little concerned about the bracket because Alabama and Georgia, invitational.
Yeah.
Last thing you want is those two teams to be rising, because they can see each other somewhere down the stretch.
Yeah. And rising while the Canes are questioning.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin gave Oregon all they can handle, bro.
Yeah, they did.
All they can handle. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I told you guys that, by the way.
Well, believe me, I was paying a great deal of attention to those points. That was one that I definitely had zeroed in on.
That's one of those classic games where it's almost the end of the season. They can see the end of the tunnel, and they just want to get through the game. And it's a night game, and that place goes crazy at Camp Randall at night. So.
And by the way, I pointed out the other one.
If they had a quarterback, Wisconsin would have beat them.
I pointed out the other one. Kansas took down.
I stood up to 2 o'clock watching that game.
Yeah, good game, right?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah. Coach and I just felt like the Jayhawks were starting to play some good offense. Jalen Daniels healthy, starting to play some good offense. And so they definitely were able
to. We're going to miss this, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
What?
That's what I was thinking late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. I was thinking, we're going to miss this. This is almost over.
It happens.
This is almost over, man. And it's not good.
No, it's not good. And I'll tell you another good game. Missouri and South Carolina. That was a beautiful game.
All right, here's what's crazy. And I saved this screenshot from hardrock.bet on, I think it was Friday, and it was not one of our picks, but it was help me out, Matt, I believe the 24th ranked team versus the 23rd ranked team.
Yeah.
So it was 23 versus 24, and it was a 14-point spread. Make sense out of that.
14 points?
Yeah, that's what it was.
They were favored by 14 over Missouri?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, because they thought Brady Cook wasn't going to play.
Right,
that's why.
Right. And then Cook obviously makes the decision to play, and the rest is history. All right.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. Nobody wants any part of Kakalaki right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
they are like the perfect example of a team that if you really, really decided we're going to do this playoff on the best teams, right?
They would
the
have
teams
a
that are playing better than anybody right now.
Yeah.
Because Penn State has played no one, Texas has played no one. Anyway, if you were going to do that, you would say, all right, South Carolina is clearly one of the hottest teams in the country right now.
And you're talking about defensive fronts that are basically leading these teams. And go Cox, okay, because they definitely have been one of them. All right, into the 3 o'clock hour, we'll definitely talk college ball. Staying on your Jags, what is going to happen to the head coach, to the GM, to the OC, to the DC? I asked the question earlier on X, would you rather fire the guy that gave up 52 or the one that could only generate 6? That's not an easy question. We'll get into that as well coming up. Mokama Beer Company Monday. It's XL Primetime.
We cook up a big pregame breakfast early on game day so you get a healthy helping of football and fun. Breakfast of Champions. On the Terminix Kickoff Show. Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Joe Coy. Just Being Coy Tour. Mentally, I've become my dad. My dad was like, oh, you listen to that hippity-hoppity? And now I'm sounding like my dad because I'm like, you're listening to that mumbly-mumbly? You're listening to that mumbly-mumbly? They don't even say words. Mumble. Friday, November 22nd, 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at joecoy.com. Don't miss them, Jacksonville. Joe Coy. Just Being Coy Tour.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Pat Mahomes will throw for more than 245.5 yards? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my pick hits, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Foye Oluokun was electric on Sunday versus Detroit. The 6'2 linebacker tallied a team-high 9 tackles against the Lions, with 6 being solo. Simply put, Foye laid the hits in Hitsville and is your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Septic emergencies stink. Get your ducks in a row, and that's where we come in. We are Duck Rooter, the #1 septic company in the region.
When you're stuck, call the duck. DuckRooter.com.
Tailgate special alert.
3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Go! Family, football, and Friday night traditions connect the past with the present.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
With Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted, but I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining, go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Projax Roofing. Coming off a tough loss last week, the Georgia Bulldogs bounced back this weekend against the Tennessee Volunteers, winning 31-17. Georgia is now 8-2 on the season. After trailing in the first quarter, the Bulldogs offense rallied as they scored on 5 of their final 6 drives. Head coach Kirby Smart spoke post-game on the win.
Our kids show resiliency. I'm proud of them. Look, it was a week ago, a couple hours that we were dead and gone. You know, people had written us off. It's hard to play in this league week in and week out. Accumulated a tremendous amount of injuries from the schedule we've had. It's a physical game, but when you put the gauntlet of what we played, it's taking its toll. We had a lot of guys sitting on the sideline tonight that couldn't play, but we also had a lot of guys that stepped up. And I think the way we practice has helped us grow some players who stepped up tonight and played big for us.
It's 78 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Who told Shad that this was the best team ever assembled? I mean, I can't imagine that him being away from them, that he just decided that on his own.
I don't know. Okay. I'm not privy to those conversations that Shad has, or who's he talking. I don't know. I can't answer that.
It wasn't you.
No.
Just priceless. Just absolutely.
If you guys could have seen the look on his face when he said no, his eyes bugged out immediately, and he said no.
You could find that on X as we say hello to our quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. We all got a big laugh out of it, but I'll just make this quick point, and then we'll zero in on what is going bad quickly in Duval. Is that the way the story goes, at least for my money, is that Trent Baalke went to the owner and said, Shad, this is the best roster this franchise has ever had. This means we're going to win. And then Shad comes out and says, the only way we can do it, and this was in London when he was asked the question again. And he said, the best way we can prove it is by winning. We need to start winning, yada, yada, yada. And so Baalke wanted to convince the owner that this is the best roster, and now it's backfiring on him because he wanted to undermine the head coach. Because he's basically saying, if this coach can't win with that roster, you don't need that coach anymore. And this is the whistle around the neck, I want to be guy in Trent Baalke. and it's backfiring on him now. Denny, what did you think?
I'm still laughing at the no. Just the way it's like, have you ever been asked about something about somebody that's so ridiculous that you never thought you'd be asked that question and you're just shocked about it? That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
it was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would you think I said that? Wild.
All right, so all right, now we have a triple play, RJ, to finish our show today. But coaches know. They do. They know whether they have a good roster or not most of the time. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so whenever he said that, it is raw, it's real, it's all that stuff. So how is this team unraveling on both sides? The actual player and then the actual construction of the game plan and all the stuff that's happening on the coaching side. Because it is just unraveling like I never could have imagined.
I mean, my personal opinion is there's a couple things. Like they don't have a bad roster.
Mm-hmm.
When the season started, they did not have a bad roster. They didn't have a great offensive line, right? Like, I mean, and everybody in this station and everybody in the city said, well, they must know something we don't know about last year because they didn't address what everybody thought was the issue. And so I think the team knows that, right? So when you start off the way they started off and you're looking at it and you go, well, there's nothing we can fix here. Like, we have what we have. We're not going to go get an amazing offensive line in week 6.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I think at some point you just probably, just start losing worse because it's just, what are you working for?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I'm not throwing that on the players. I think I should throw it on the players, but I think that's a team emotion, adrenaline, a momentum type of thing. Is if Leon's not playing as hard as he can, and he's not pushing me to play as hard as I can, and I'm not pushing, and it just snowballs, and then all of a sudden you're bad, and you get in a game and you're down by 14, and you're like, oh, God, I just want to get out of here, and guys start making business decisions.
You've talked about that checkout rate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, Denny, I'm watching the game, and at some particular point, I'm watching the game, and I'm saying to myself, this team knows that Detroit is better. Just by the way they execute.
Absolutely.
And the speed of the game. Well, the only time I ever felt that way in my whole career when I was playing is when I was with the Steelers. First game of the season, we had to play the Dallas Cowboys. And they beat us so bad. And I just had to accept that team right there is better.
Yep.
I'm doing everything I can, but we're not playing at that tempo, that speed, or that execution. I think that was the Jaguars last year.
No question. At every single level, you have that moment in the locker room before the game where the coach makes everybody believe that you got a chance. And then you go out there and realize we don't have a chance. And then all of a sudden that emotion you came out with is just gone.
Air out of a balloon.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's move to a team that can actually play football. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to Georgia and Carson. First off, Georgia couldn't run the ball. Could not run the ball. All they had was Carson Beck, and Carson ends up playing the best game of his career. Your thoughts in the game on Carson really stepping up in a big-time moment and showing what that offense can be?
Well, obviously, like, elation on my part. I was there on Saturday. I've been everywhere with this year, and I didn't think he played bad the week before at Ole Miss. Like, when you went back and watched the film, he made good decisions, threw some good balls, and then I think it just kind of came together. They put in a couple freshmen. They played a couple other people, and then I was sitting there, and it hit me. The environment was amazing on Saturday night, but then I realized, like, I've been in that environment every week. Just they've been in that environment as the away team, and it's hard to win in that environment.
Like they become the new Alabama wherever they go.
It's the traveling roadshow.
Yeah,
to ESPN's game day. How many game day games have been? Alabama, Texas,
Alabama.
And I think just that finally having that home game helps a lot. Carson's been locked in all year. He's never been distracted or anything like that. He's stayed true to his process. I don't think he played that much differently on Saturday night than he's played all year. It just clicked a little bit better, in my opinion. And they almost, to the point where they're down to one running back, they almost have to just throw the ball, right? Like, all right, we got to run because we're Georgia, but
what I said,
don't really have that many options to run.
No. What I said to Matt earlier is that, hey, Oscar, thanks for showing up, because the tight end is a dynamic piece of their offense, and that guy can be dynamic. Anyway, he finally showed up. and then Bobo and Carson, just all of a sudden, same page, same feel, same vibe.
Yep. I know they made some good changes last week in the run game with Carson. I don't know. I'm just happy for him, man, because I've seen what he's gone through this year, and I've seen how hard he's worked, and there's power in just turning over every single rock until you find what you believe is the solution. And it would have been easy for that dude to go, okay, let me play this year out, but he didn't. Every single week, it's just pouring over film, right, and figuring out, okay, this is what we got. How do we make it work? And hopefully it was one game, but hopefully, they figured that out. And I can tell you, I mean, I was at his house after the game, and just the
exhale.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's when you're on top of the mountain. That's it.
Yeah.
Winning is exhaling.
Yep.
And losing is tragedy.
Yep. And I can tell you without a shadow of doubt, too, if he would have thrown 3 picks and they still won, it still would have been that exhale.
Yeah.
It was just we got to get this W because I came back to win a natty.
But let me say this to you, because this is something that's not just that we're saying this, but I think when you watch the games, the analysts like Kirk Herbstreit and Greg McElroy are saying this, like he'll make a throw and you're like, what is he seeing? Is that a situation where he's just at that point, I got to do something to make a play because we're not doing anything offensively?
Well, I think there's a combination of a lot of things. I think not having an offensive line, we've talked about this so many times, is not having, a continuous offensive line, having those constant injuries. Even if you're protected, you're not 100% sure you're going to be protected, right? So I think there's a tendency to get rid of the ball a little bit too soon. They've talked about the receivers and losing Ladd and Brock, and it's not that you lost their talent. You just lost that continuity, which takes a little bit of time. And then they had the unfortunate events with a couple other receivers that got in trouble. I just think it took a little bit longer to play out. I think he threw at some spots that he expected some receivers to be at, and they weren't. I think some of what you're saying of he was trying to make some plays that he didn't really need to make.
Right.
Or maybe he did need to make it, but he didn't make them, and that backfired on him. So I really just think that right now they're actually finding out who they are offensively. And like you said, Joe, it doesn't involve a whole lot of run game. If they're going to win, 15's going to play well.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like? And now they've got, UMass this week. They're done with their SEC schedule. They've got UMass and they've got Georgia Tech. And then you just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, I was telling Matt and Joe this, that the two teams that I worried the most about are playing I'm not saying they're playing their best ball, but they're on the trajectory. I call it the Alabama-Georgia Invitational.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should be worried that these two teams have turned it around and they're going in the right direction.
I agree. I think Tate Ratledge getting healthy was big. That was big. Mm-hmm. He played a good game the other night. They found a couple of number 2, I don't remember his name, number 5, the receiver. I think number 2's name is Nitro.
Freshman,
yeah. Look, I mean, he has a different gear about him. Arian's getting open, just dropping a a he'll
still every week he drops balls.
Too.
And that first ball,
he was fiery too.
I'm not gonna. I cannot repeat what I said out loud when it happened. Love you, Arian.
That's the third time that they've started a game with a deep ball, and I think the third time he's dropped it.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say is Carson's not lost confidence in him, and that says a lot about Arian, not Carson. Because he sees what he does during the week, and there's a reason they're going to him first.
Right. They're trusting him, and he'll make those plays.
He's going to make that play eventually, and when he does, he's going to get going. I think they found a rhythm, and defensively they are what they are. You just when they're healthy, you don't want any piece of that.
No, you don't. But the other part of it was Tennessee lost their juice defensively.
Well, they gave up on the run. Offensively, they stopped running the ball.
That's true too. But Samson and who was the other cat quick kid, 27. They both had their moments, and they went back to it when they had that one score. What was it? Midway through the third quarter, beginning of the second half, and they had it. But anyway, defensively, they just lost their will. It looked like.
Yeah, I listen. I'm gonna say it again, man. That environment. Mm-hmm. They jump out 10-0, and then when Carson got that rolling with the offsides penalty, right, and he hit Dom, and then he had the run.
Yeah.
And when he had the run, he had the little celebration, you could just feel the energy just come back. And then at that point, I think they outscored him, was it 31-7?
Yeah, it was crazy. I talked to a Bulldog earlier today, diehard Bulldog, and he said the atmosphere, even as many games as he's been to, it was just over the top. Guess how much the ticket was.
To get in?
Yeah.
$1,200.
Nah. These were decent seats, but it was over.
800.
It was half a stack to get in the game.
He's flashing you a 5. He's giving you the answer, man.
It was half a stack to get in the game.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm still focused on. Yeah. I'm still focused on like the Tennessee
roster.
Yeah.
The offense where I love Josh. I think Josh is a brilliant offensive guy, but he's got the 2 receivers way out of the numbers, and he's got 5 offensive linemen against Georgia's 4. You are not going to block Georgia's 4. I don't care who you are with 5. It just doesn't happen. One of those guys is going to win. So you're not going to run on him like that. And he never brought a couple tight ends in and just said, all right, we're coming right at you, man. Stop it.
Makes
like
sense.
Florida did.
Yeah.
Florida ran right at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, it was an electric atmosphere, and it was fun, and it was good to see Carson play well, get a little bit of mojo back, and let's see what happens the rest of the year. This playoff, y'all.
All right, we'll stay on that.
This is
bring
unbelievable.
it up. But this is, I believe, either the 4th out of 5 or 5 straight where Tennessee has scored first and then has gotten their doors blown off, basically.
Well, they didn't get their doors blown off.
Well, the average margin of victory these last 5 was 20
You think they got their doors blown off in that game?
Bro, they were outscored 31-7 after they jumped
in
out
the second
10-0.
half. Oh my gosh!
Look at look at Nico's stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nico didn't play well. There's no doubt about it.
He had it going early.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
I thought Nico played well. I thought Georgia just made every tackle they needed to make. They did
it
well
like
in
5
space.
yards an attempt, man.
And Nico even
what they gave
sacrificed
him.
his body. He took off and almost looked like he got concussed one more time, but he was fine.
No, I'm not complaining about him. Like he
played
he was
hard.
very
Yeah,
tough.
yeah,
He
yeah.
played hard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in the throw game, he was not. He did not play well.
But that's the point I think you were making before is you got to find a way to bring that defense a little bit closer in so that you have more width to get vertical. If you can't get vertical down the middle and you're wide splits, then where do you go to get vertical?
Right.
So the run game robbed him, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll stay on that. We'll get back to a couple of other things that are being brought up on the chat line. Rebuild the interior. Leon, we'll get back to that. The offensive line as a whole for this team, for anybody to be successful behind the line on the Jaguars front. Mokama Beer Company Monday, talking Jags, talking college football with our quarterback whisperer.
I'm not privy to those conversations that Shad has or who's he talking. I don't know. I can't answer that.
It wasn't you.
No.
Okay.
If offense and defense don't win the game, sometimes it's up to the special teams.
And here comes the field goal team. They've got to hurry.
After the game, catch the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally on 1010XL.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Hope everyone had a profitable betting weekend. Monday Night Football is tonight, where we have an old-fashioned Texas duel as the Houston Texans travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Both of these teams have had major injuries. They've been terrible lately. This game could certainly be a little bit of a slog. Go under the 42.5 over-under game total. And again, the Cowboys 7.5-point underdogs at home. I like the Texans to cover. Joe Mixon really running the ball well. for Houston. I'm looking to bet a same-game parlay and put all my chips in on Mixon for an anytime touchdown and bet the over on Mixon's receiving yardage. Guys, MyBookie has the best sign-up bonus in the industry for Florida bettors. Our listeners can just sign up and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. That's promo code 1010XL to claim your double deposit bonus from Monday Night Football. Bet anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. This November, Nimnik Buick GMC is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchase, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs for military veterans and supporting the K9s for Warriors mission. And this month, Nimnik Buick GMC is offering a $500 military appreciation discount on select new Buick and GMC models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnik Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Roland Reich Plumbing, there when you need them. Big or small plumbing problem, call Roland Reich Plumbing anytime at 260-7059. 260-7059, where quality and experience count.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Hurricane season is here, and now's the time to think about a home generator. My friends at Ricketts Electric can make sure your home always has power. They can install the perfect generator for your home and are even offering a 10% discount this month if you mention 1010XL. So call my friend Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960 or find them on Facebook. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them at 320-5960.
It's Thanksgiving week, and Monahan Jewelers has the best deals in town with up to 40% off the entire store. Thousands of beautiful pieces are all on sale with fantastic prices on our entire inventory, including up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds. We're your local family jeweler, so come visit us today and on Small Business Saturday for up to 40% off on diamond studs, engagement rings, colored gemstones, our designer brands, custom design, everything. The name you can trust in fine jewelry, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Dropping his Goff. Looking, still looking. Fires back in the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Wide open was the tight end, Brock Wright. And again, it looked like Goff looked right, looked to the middle, and then on the left side of the end zone, there was nobody near Brock Wright. Touchdown Detroit, 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns for the Lions.
Like I said earlier, that's above my pay grade. I love playing for Doug. Doug and this team has been through so much over the last 3 years. Like I said, like I told him, we're going to ride together, we're going to die together. So, like I said, it's out of my control. I'm going to keep fighting for Doug as much as I can. I know the team will, and we're going to keep pushing.
It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
I'm sure a lot of people have this line, all caps, in their head. The worst loss in franchise history. That's what it was. They got absolutely mowed over in Motown. Well, you just heard Evan Ingram and his comment coming out of the locker room, and he said that we've been through a lot together, referring to head coach Doug Pederson, and that he doesn't want to see him go. So as we hang out with the quarterback whisperer, I'm going to ask him if a quarterback feels like a quarterback feels like a coach is not doing him right, will they stand up for him and defend him, or will they be hesitant to do that? Leon first, though. You heard that. You've been in those locker rooms. I don't understand when guys either decide to stand up for a guy. What are they trying to accomplish?
Well, fortunately, I've never had to play for my coach because it's never been that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go put that out there.
That is a good point.
You remind us of that all the time.
Well, I just want to let you know I've never had to play for the coach. And listen, I'm a 1099 when I was a player. So, I mean, I'm an independent contractor, okay? So whether I like my coach or not doesn't matter. If I don't do my job, I'm on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So let's look at that.
What a novel concept that is, by the way.
You know, I mean, and the coach is, whether you like it or not, he's corporate. He is corporate. Players are interchangeable. More than likely, coaches stay with the franchise if they're any good.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand that he's upper management. He just happens to be the head coach of the team, but he's a part of, we call it in the locker room, corporate.
Mm-hmm.
He never wanted to be a company man, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just do your job. Don't worry about it if you like the coach or not. Listen, when I got here in '96, I love TC. All right. But we won in spite of, we figured this as a team, that if TC's going to be TC, we might as well win some games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if TC
was just wearing you out.
Because he was wearing the South, we figured that, listen, it's bad enough he's wearing the South and we're losing. So we might as well start winning some games. So we turned to each other. We felt like, hey, listen, we're going to win these games for each other.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why there was
It's so funny because it's like, instead of worrying about saving his job, you need to save your job.
That part.
And basically the way you should look at it. So, Denny, I was just trying to kind of pair this up on the quarterback side. If it's a losing environment, there's only so many things you can point to that have created that losing environment, right? Either the people around you, the game plan, the coach, all the things that we have all listed. So would you be fighting for your coach, or would you just be kind of sitting back and being quiet?
Well, I think that's a different thing than Leon if you're a quarterback, because if you're the quarterback, you're not the one leaving because you got $250 million coming.
Yeah.
So they're going to get rid of that coach before they get rid of you, especially in that situation. And I think publicly you're always going to defend your coach.
Yeah, makes sense.
But what I hear out of Evan Ingram on that is more than just defending the coach. Is he went extra, right? He didn't just answer the question. He said a little bit more than, "No, I like Doug."
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just me overthinking it, but I mean, I would read into that as, well, who's the common denominator? Right. It's
top.
the next guy above
personnel.
Doug.
Yeah.
Right.
You can say it, Trent Baalke.
Yeah, I know. I just, but he's not saying that. That's not what Evan.
Right.
I'm saying if I'm reading into that, that's the way I read into that. Is a change has to be made.
Sort of like you're reading into Doug saying no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
And like Trent's over there saying, I brought Evan Ingram in here. Give me a little credit. But he hasn't put enough other good things around him, because quarterback, tight end, receivers, running back, none of them are going to work if that offensive line, which is your point, Matt, and Leon's all along. None of it's going to work if that doesn't work.
They doubled down on that offensive line that played one game together last year against the Titans in the game they had to have and lost and played their worst game of the year. And they said, yeah, we're good with this line.
See, I think they just took another step that they had not yet taken, which was, they had all these one-score games, and then what was it, like they would be 7-3 if you flip those and all that kind of stuff.
Every game in the NFL is a one-score game.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
That you can't say
Not
that
yesterday.
Well, other than that the Jags don't play.
Yeah.
And
Right, but that was the thing with the Jags, right? Is they played a bunch of one-score games. We're not that far away. We got an injury here. We got an injury.
Yeah,
not anymore.
6 games at 5 points or less.
Yeah.
So
the Chiefs just now played their first game of the year that wasn't a more than one possession game.
Yeah.
First time.
I was the smart guy that took a teaser, Kansas City +9. Or actually, I had it at 8.5. They lost by 9. Yeah. They lost, and they don't lose those games very often. Not by 9.
No, but I mean, look at the Bengals schedule. Same thing.
Yeah.
1 possession games all over it.
Bro, that's crazy because if you look at the year that Burrow's having,
oh my gosh,
we were just talking about that.
Holy
He's MVP year, yeah.
It's unreal.
He's got the most yards. What was it, Leon? Most yards, most touchdowns. Receiver has the most yards. They have the sack leader in the National Football League, and they're 1-6 in one-score games.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right, by the way, TD just texted me 86 games in the NFL have been 1-score games this year.
Oh, yeah.
86.
Yeah, and so it's so funny because
how many of the game? What was the final score yesterday?
52-6.
How many point
Most in
differentials?
NFL history over 11 weeks, by the way.
How many games have had a 40-something point differential in the NFL this year? Right.
Yeah, I believe it's the biggest. It's the biggest margin of defeat since 1979.
Really?
Yeah. And so
in the NFL?
In the
Yeah,
NFL.
in the NFL.
This does not. These beatdowns do
Bro,
not happen.
52-6 is not good. I don't know if you know that or not, man.
This does not
happen in the league. No.
Dang, homecoming game.
And heck, there have even been teams, and we talked about it before, Denver had to go through 3 quarterbacks and still didn't lose by that. Now, remember, this was, and this actually might have been, I'm going to have to look this up, because remember when Miami smoked Denver
That's what I was
last
thinking.
year?
Yeah.
But the margin was 50 points, or I have to go back and look and see what that score was. Anyway, this is one of the bigger defeats in NFL.
It was 70-20.
Yeah, so that was because they put a 70 spot on them. It's just, honestly, and more extra points from Detroit than points from Jacksonville.
I mean, I don't know, Leon. Maybe you know. How do you in the NFL rebound from that?
You don't. I mean, they got a bye, so Doug said
they're resting.
They need a rest. Doug said they need a rest. They've been stressed out.
Did you hear that?
Stressed out this season.
I kid you not, bro. RJ, can you play that real quick?
Yeah, you can cue that bad boy
Just so
back
you can
up.
hear this part.
You let us know.
If you thought the rest of the stuff was bad, wait to hear this.
I feel like it's been a long season, 11 games, 2 weeks in London, obviously, and travel and whatnot. And I do, and I think, the guys need a break, but I'm sure if you ask them, they probably feel tired, right? They feel drained a little bit, and they need to refresh and get ready to go.
Mm-hmm. This may be the worst organization at reading the room that I've ever.
What was the movie, Joe? It's the NFL, which means not for long. What was that movie?
I'm not sure which one, but it's the reading the room is real. And we were joking earlier when he said post-Urban that this team needed to go through a healing process. And then they were at the very least able to.
You know how you heal? You know how you get energy? You know how you're not tired? You win. You win.
And I'll quote Kirby, and I do it all the time. Hard work works.
Yes. When you win, you're not tired.
It's one of the best quotes ever. And honestly, it's just, I don't know where to go from here. I just feel like most people want to see Khan walk out, stash and all, and say, this is not good enough for you. This is not good enough for me. And we are going to basically move on and start from scratch, not leave anyone in the building to help us. Start over, clean.
Well, okay. While we're on this, I was flipping around social media earlier. Came across the 1010XL Instagram page.
You thought we were just going to let you just praise Carson the whole time.
No, I did not. Anyway, and the question was asked of all of you guys, should Trevor sit the rest?
Yeah, shut it down.
Shut it down. Mm-hmm. And I want to say all 3 of you said yes.
I did go with the idea that if he needs surgery,
he needs surgery,
and we want to make sure that's the qualifier.
Okay, that's the qualifier?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all aren't saying
no,
he can
play.
No. Okay, because I was borderline offended, especially by you, Leon. I thought you would be the one that was like, nah, you better get it.
He wanted to stay out.
I was being facetious, all right? That's why I did look at Matt Hayes at the end, because I said we give him a paid vacation, because he wants to wrap it with bubble tape.
I mean, he does need his rest,
Oh, my God.
He needs his rest.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that he is, at the very least, 2 games removed from a team that couldn't do anything offensively. And so he is now, at the very least, off the hook or not number 1 on the list. There are still fans out there that are still clobbering him for most turnovers. And
are they clobbering him, or are they just frustrated?
Because that's a combination of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a Jag fan. I mean, yes, we got players all over, and I pull for the Colts because we got guys there and all that. But I'm a Jag fan. Been here since 95, like from the beginning with them. It's frustrating. It's hard, man. It's hard to sit there, and y'all know this, every Sunday and turn on the TV and go, I'm going to spend 4 hours.
You get worn out.
Watching this.
Yeah.
Like, I might as well just have somebody come over and slap me for 3 hours.
The original NFG, his wife walks in, she goes, and you're telling me you're having a good time watching this?
I got home from Athens at 8:05 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
Go lay down. Like, I got to get up at 1 o'clock, watch the Jags game. About 1:15, I'm like, why did I get up?
Right.
What am I doing? This is a routine that I need to break right now. Speaking of Anthony, by the way, and the Colts.
Yeah, I was going to say, on that note, we'll say goodbye to you, but 2 rushes. I had him in a prop bet, and I just didn't have the right combination. Oh, my gosh.
But it's also, Joe, he's young. Yeah. You're going to get up and down, man.
Yeah. But
like, you can't panic.
I think we all knew that going to Flacco, if successful at all, was fleeting because he's an old man. He's a Flaccosaurus. But to get him back in there, I'm sure a little renewed vigor from AR, and still the one thing he has over a lot of others is size and speed.
He's talented.
Plus, he's going to make mistakes again.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
He's talented. I'm just I brought it up just because I'm happy for him.
All right, brother, man. Thank you as always.
Appreciate you guys.
At Denny_Thompson, our quarterback whisperer. We keep it rolling. Handing off to the Francis Show coming up on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
This holiday season, let Bono's Catering do the cooking so you can enjoy more time with family and friends. Frank Frangie here. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for 75 years. Holiday catering is available with whole smoked turkeys, country hams, and all the fixings. Be sure to pre-order online at bonosbarbq.com or give us a call at 904-332-7427. Speaking of the holidays, Bono's signature rubs make the perfect gift for all barbecue lovers. Remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Postgame Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 18, 1964, Baltimore Orioles third baseman Brooks Robinson, Baseball Hall of Famer, wins American League MVP.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Mueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Beers.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Frank Frangie here. Big Chief Tire makes auto care affordable with 6-month financing with the CFNA card. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brakes, or general checkup, Big Chief's expert technicians will take care of your car with top-notch service. And with no interest for 6 months, now is the perfect time to handle your vehicle needs. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply for your CFNA card today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. Telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jeff Prosser this morning on The Drill with reaction to Sunday's blowout loss at Detroit.
It's not even rantable what we saw yesterday. No, yesterday I feel now is just lifting the burden here, right, with some transparency. It's coming. It's over. We knew it. They are what we thought they were. Gosh, I didn't know they were that bad. And yesterday is just the perfect way for it to all come crashing into rubble. That's where we're at, right? Big changes are coming. I don't know when Doug Pederson will be relieved of his duties. I will be shocked if it's not today.
Prosser this morning on The Drill. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, well, my takeaway is that this Jaguar team finds more and more eventful ways to lose ball games. And I saw the pinnacle of losing on Sunday when they 8 possessions, touchdowns, field goals. We did absolutely nothing about it. Now, Doug Pederson said this team needs to get away, needs to rest, needs to, what was the word? Reset.
Why am I hearing like the Southwest commercial right now? The ding of the airplane.
Want to get away?
Want to get away? Ding. That's this team.
Need to rest.
Need to rest,
Take
yeah.
vacation.
Light some candles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go to the crew.
You know, I bet this team, you know what they do? I bet during the week they take naps in between meetings. So soft.
All right, everybody, get your blanket.
Yeah, soft.
No tea, man. Soft. Soft
Maddie.
without the tea.
Yeah. Into the mic.
Yeah. My takeaway is I'm starting to come to your side of the spite thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shad might be doing this out of spite, not firing him. I think he might be saying, you guys made this crap, so now you deal with it for the next 6 weeks. You deal with the criticism week after week after week. You deal with everybody saying it's your fault. You're the reason this team is terrible. And then at the end of the season, I'm going to clean house.
If I knew the end game was there, I'd feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But the longer it goes, the more you worry. I don't think you can help that.
I like that notion.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I think he wants him to eat.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. He's firing both of them. I guarantee.
He wants to eat all the L's, but I still worry that Baalke has his ear like nobody else. I hope so.
No chance.
And
you can't go 2-15 and keep your job.
Exactly.
There's no way.
I'll make the point again. When Trent Baalke tried to convince Shad before the season that this was the best roster ever assembled for this franchise, he was undermining his head coach. That I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the flip.
Because Trent wants to be the head coach. That's why.
Yeah, he wants to have a whistle around his neck.
He wanted to be in the weight room with the fellas.
Exactly. Remember, bigger, faster, stronger. And so it can backfire, and looks like it has backfired, because not only is the coach obviously dying on the vine, now the roster is being viewed a totally different way, and that's going to end up maybe coming back to get him. All right, my takeaway.
Well, the roster's being seen without teal glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It started being seen as like what it is.
Yeah, and there's just too many good players on other rosters that are embarrassing this bunch on a regular basis, and you cannot get away from that.
Well, let me ask this to you, Joe, Matt, and Leon. We talked about Mike Florio, touched on it a little bit, that Trent may try to make this Hail Mary attempt to convince Shad that I could get Bill. Even if he were to get Bill, let's just say in a parallel universe, is that enough to still keep his job?
It would be one of the only moves I believe he could make.
Shad can get Bill. Just say you can have GM and head coach.
Well, that's what, honestly, the word up in Atlanta is that that's what Bill wanted, and that's why he didn't get it. Because he wants the control. In this particular situation, Trent may convince him that he can come in and have what he wants. But Bill Belichick, the most recent version we saw of Bill Belichick, was also making some really bad coaching decisions and putting a really bad product
and draft
on the field.
picks.
Yeah, and draft picks and free agents.
Yes.
They spent a bunch of money after Tommy won down there in Tampa Bay. Belichick and the New England Patriots spent more money than they had in the previous 3 years combined. They wanted desperately to win. So I'm not ready to put that goat in charge. All right, my takeaway real quick, and this was the best because I basically asked about the loss, and one of my questions I always ask every week as far as the bad losses, and Sarah chimed in on X and said, Mike Tyson could have beaten the Jags.
That was sad, man.
That was sad.
I didn't watch it,
bro.
I know it was
happy. You did.
I know it was a sham.
Well, it was sad, and it was also flimsy and a lot of waste. Like, we're not talking about two guys that were throwing and landing
Jake
punches.
Paul was just as bad.
Yeah, they were terrible. Like, to use your words. And so
Terrible.
It was just sad. But yeah, Mike Tyson could have beaten the Jags.
I will say this, bro. You did miss like the first round. Within like the first 18, 20 seconds, he got a nice right in. Tyson did. And that was it. And that was it. And I think he actually buckled Jake a little bit with that shot too. A little bit.
The way I look at it is that a 27-year-old can absorb a 58-year-old man's punches a hell of a lot.
Of course.
Better than the opposite. And so that's why Mike he ain't the same dude. He was a destroyer back in the day. Iron Mike was a destroyer, a tactician, and a guy who could just absolutely just knock you out.
So you're trying to tell me that Tyson looked grandpa-ish in the ring?
Oh, yeah. Remember when George Foreman came back when he was 48 or something?
Yeah, but Foreman still could.
But Foreman could.
Yeah,
he was delivering blows.
He could just lean on you too.
Yeah.
Tyson, it was bad, bro.
He took $20 million not to knock him out.
And as old as Foreman was, he was still a decade younger than Mike.
And he did. I mean, let's be fair to Mike. He went 8 rounds.
They were
with a guy
2-minute
half his
rounds.
age.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just ugly. No one was landing punches.
They were 2-minute rounds.
Yeah. You've seen
he would have gone maybe 3-4 tops
with a 3-minute round. Yeah,
rounds.
no way. But anyway, it just looked awful. So here you are, and like we said, there's no real quick answer to what's going on here other than you need to send a message that you're starting over. That is really the only thing that, because I was joking earlier, would you, if you're not going to take a swing at the top, who would you fire? The guy that gave up 52 or the guy's offensive unit that could only generate 6? I don't know. Both of them were bad.
If you're going to fire, if you're not going to fire the coach and the
right,
the
you just
GM,
want to see somebody go.
The DC's got to go. You kidding me?
Yeah,
How many
52.
times have we seen him on the sidelines? Like, he looks lost.
Yeah, he was the want to get away commercial.
Rick Nielsen.
Yeah.
Looks lost.
Yeah. Our cheap trick defensive coordinator.
Hey, someone should tell them that it's legal to blitz. I mean, if you can't get at home at 4, you can bring 5 and 6.
Yeah. Well, if you thought 52
I'm saying
was bad, if they blitz, it's gonna be a lot.
But bro,
worse.
you're already getting annihilated. At least bring some more people.
Yeah.
If you
That's another thing too I want to say. Let me interrupt you real quick, bro. This is gonna make you very angry. Okay. So we all know that Josh Allen and his $170 million, he's got 5 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Trayvon Walker leads the team with 7.5. Who's number 3 on the list? Don't look at the stats. Who's their third leading sack guy on the team? This is going to make you guys very angry.
I know.
You guys out there as well.
I'm sitting here trying to think of who has gotten to.
Don't hit the guy in front of you when you're driving when I tell you, because it's going to make you really angry.
Who has gotten to the quarterback and gotten him on the ground?
Ledbetter.
No, bro. I hate to tell you guys this,
Who?
but the guy that was flipping traded 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Roy Robertson Harris.
Yeah, still. Still.
With 2.
Still.
Dose.
Yeah. Still.
2.
Yeah.
He's on another team for the last month.
Yeah.
But they had it all figured out, that edge spot.
Well, just to remind everybody, those 2 combined last year for the number that they got, with Josh Allen tying the league lead and then Trayvon getting to 10, and they combined for, 30, and then the rest of the team, all the others for the rest of the team had a baker's dozen.
They're not getting 30 this year.
No, they're not.
That's not happening.
Listen, I saw a play where Eric Armstead went up against Panay Sue, and he hit him with a 2-handed punch. I thought he had whiplash.
Yeah.
I swear. I thought he had whiplash. He hit him so hard. I'm for real. He hit him with a 2-hand punch, and his head went back. I said, oh, my God.
Yeah. And by the way, the other one, as this team is getting destroyed by Motown, up in the box is Aiden Hutchinson just hanging out. Not needed. Not needed.
And still leading at the top of the NFL in 3 or 4 different defensive categories.
Yeah, with the pressures and tackles for loss and all that. And he may be back in time for a Super Bowl run if Detroit.
Imagine if you're Armstead, by the way, and you looking back now, you're thinking, why would I even contemplate agreeing to a deal from Trent Baalke to come to this team? He could have gone anywhere.
Well, he could have stayed where he was.
Right.
Well, he saw no state tax.
Yeah.
I understand all that. I agree with all that, but
and it's called 9 figures.
I mean, how miserable must he be right now?
It's unreal when you think about it.
Listen, he's made us.
9, but it's close.
He's made us.
He's stealing
miserable.
money. You're right.
Yes.
I agree. He's stealing money.
He's made
There's
us
no doubt.
as miserable because we only see sightings of him every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's stealing.
Yes.
Yeah. And look,
he's not the only one. Josh
Right.
Hines Allen's stealing too.
Oh yeah.
Got news for you.
Well, yeah, he needs to be playing a hell of a lot better than he is right now because he didn't just get a 1-year deal like Armstead to come in. He got the
paid,
big
bro.
deal.
He got paid.
And between the Tyson Campbell, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Hines Allen packages, the deals that all of them got.
Trevor Lawrence stealing.
Yeah, and we're talking about approaching $500 million in contract obligations.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, Tyson got worked yesterday big time.
$500 million.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I don't remember what the exact number is, but it's over $400,000.
Well, you got 275 and 170, which is 2 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're 445 right at that point.
So anyway, it gets you more than anything else when you think about where they are headed and the simple fact that they need to ultimately make a decision that's going to make the fan base happy and see if they can start looking for something new other than all these L's. All right, we're done. Mocama Beer Company Monday. We say thanks to them. Definitely find them when you head up to Fernandina Beach. And, of course, all of y'all up there in Nassau County know how good it is. Check them out in Wildlight, their satellite location, along with their beautiful tap room right there on South 8th. And log on, mocama.com. You can check out all the great craft that they've got. We are out of here. The Francis Show coming up next. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.
It wasn't you.
No.
Okay.
You know, winners get washed. Yeah, I mean, we suck right now, so I don't.
I'm sure they probably feel tired.